Witches, to me, are an embodiment of the strange, wild, and wacky side of magic. With how studied and understood magic is in the world of Rust and Trenches, witches serve as a reminder of how chaotic and unpredictable it can still be. So what impact do they have on the world, and why are they so dangerous? Firstly, every witch is unique. No two witches are the same, each embodying a different concept, idea, or theme. A witch of insects, a witch of claustrophobia, or a witch of goo, etc. The concept a witch is based on determines their appearance, abilities, and the influence they have on the world around them. The longer a witch lives, the stronger their influence becomes. It could give birth to new species, diseases, or even create entire new biomes, any of which could have catastrophic consequences. Them simply existing is a danger to the laws of reality. Because of this, I wanted them to look distinct from the rest of Rust and Trenches. They needed to look strange and out of place. So, what does a witch look like? Well, first we need to decide what concept to base our witch on. Okay, so I picked the Witch of Sewing, and actually, this is a design from like a few years ago that I'm just, blowing the dust off of and revisiting. Just never ended up finishing it because at the time I think I was not good enough at rendering and just got discouraged. But I mean, the idea was so good not to reuse. Back then, I designed it on stream with the help of viewers and we cooked.
But I do think there are things to improve. I could have gone more into pretty much everything. With the granny aesthetic, for example, we could have made it more granny-esque by adding more elements that could tie into that. Like, we could give her like flabby arms, like the lunch lady build, If we go with that, then I guess her legs are already like sort of a bulbous shape, so what if we could give her like compression socks? Only thing left is give her like a cookie tin to keep her sewing supplies in, but I think that'll be too much. But yeah, like, with pin cushions. Yeah, cause the cloth on its own is gonna be like a one droopy shape. We could have it so the same way as like a pincushion because of the string that like holds them together. So we can do that with cinch it with like string that ties it together and makes it look all like bulbousy and stuff like that. What else? There's this thing I saw where there are types of pincushions that you strap onto your arm. Not onto your arm, your wrist. Like, what if we make it so she has like a bunch of them on her arms growing out of her, like a sort of body horror, but without any blood because, well, she's made of fabric. The plushies like spilling out of her as well. That might be interesting. So yeah, let's try and do that. Besides that, I don't see much that I want to change. Like the floppy ears, the shape of the face is like really good. I love the sewing machine in the head, so obviously we're keeping that.
I will leave talking about where witches came from and what the hell they even are for another video that will focus on Tawndry's research into witches and curses and its consequences. But all you need to know for now is that people turn into witches, and that after they turn, that's when they slowly distort and get more powerful the longer they are left alive. And the stronger they get, the less they need to abide by the rules of nature. I'd say the witch I'm drawing now would be about a month or two after they have turned, so still quite humanoid. She will serve as a baseline. What is the limit of how inhuman a witch can become? I don't really know, actually. It'll be fun to push those boundaries with future designs and see how truly wild a witch can become. Okay, there are a few things that I don't like with this design. First of all, the gash doesn't work, and also I don't like that she's just standing around like an idiot. I took the pose from the original, but the pose doesn't really tell you anything about the character, and so I think I'm going to redraw it again, but I'm going to put her in a rocking chair. She's not allowed to walk anymore. She's just going to be sitting in a rocking chair, rocking away and sewing. But no. she's still gonna be able to walk around. It's just that if I'm gonna draw one image of her, at least I should make that an image that depicts her in a way that tells you a little more about her than just her standing like an idiot. So having her in a rocking chair, to me, I think fits a lot more. Also, the gash doesn't work. I don't like it. The idea that I wanted where I said I was gonna try and do gore without any blood, the gash doesn't work without blood. I added blood, and if I remove it, it looks too clean. So just going back to the pouch, and I think the pin cushions coming out of her skin is body horror enough. Like, it's implied body horror enough. I don't need her stomach being cut open and fucking organs spilling out and anything. No, it's trying too hard. I can just have the pouch and be fine with that, and have like these red strings probably spilling out of it and running across the ground. It doesn't have to be this much, you know? But yeah, I'm gonna stuff her in a wheelchair. I'm gonna stuff her in a wheelchair. No, I'm gonna stuff her in a rocking chair. Jeez, I'm gonna cripple her. No, a rocking chair, and that'll be the end of it.
The thing is, witches don't actually break the laws of magic. They merely are outside of the scope of our understanding of magic. And no matter how powerful a being's magic may be, they still have to abide by the core principles. Magic always requires mana, and powerful magic like that of the witches requires a lot of mana. So much, in fact, that as their power grows, often the input on their bodies doesn't suffice, which is the reason why witches typically build a lair or find some place that is sufficiently mana-dense to tap off of. Each witch has a different method of gathering enough mana to fuel their ever-growing hunger. In the case of the sewing witch, she, fittingly, weaves giant tapestries of fabric that span her lair, blanketing the canopies of the forest with intricate patterns that attract mana, all of which get funneled through a network of woven cables that supply her and her minions with enough mana to keep expanding. Talking about minions, of course, a witch needs minions, and the Witch of Sewing certainly wouldn't have managed to gain such a wide-spreading reach without them. She has 3 types of minions that all serve differing roles like an ant colony: the Weevils, Plushies, and the Loom Bear. Names are still pending, and all 3 are actually still in progress, but I'm so excited to talk about them and what role they play in a later video. I've been working on them on stream, so if you want to help me with designing them, hop in. Here's my schedule. Well, that's not good. Okay, here you go. Here's where the design ended up, and I gotta say, I'm quite happy with it. I think the choice to put her in a rocking chair was definitely the right way to go. It fits her character a lot more than her just standing around, and I also made the rocking chair sort of look like a loom a little bit in the background. I could have definitely pushed it further, but I just wanted to get this drawing done. While I was working on this as well, I was also designing her minions with the people on stream, and I removed the plushies from her back for now because we actually came up with a better version of those on stream, and I'll have to finish designing those before putting them back into the image. With the Loom Bear, I mean, I love the design so much, or how it's coming along, and I'm kind of worried that it's gonna overshadow the witch herself, which, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes after I finish designing that thing, and if the witch is gonna look more like a minion of the Loom Bear or the other way around. But yeah, that's it. And there you have it, the Witch of Yarn and String. You must bounce on it, crazy style. Okay, our first look at what a witch can look like. Does it look strange and out there enough? I don't know. This being my first proper attempt at a witch, I think it's a great starting point. I'm happy with it. Things could always change in the future as I further develop the aesthetic of witches as a whole. I'm so eager to talk about Tandri's research and the Sewing Witch's curse and all her minions too, so I'll
hopefully try and get those finished quickly. Or soon. I'll hopefully try and get those finished soon. Anyway, if you have any suggestions for concepts to base future witches on, tell me in the comments below what kind of witch you'd like to see me draw. I hope you liked the video. Thank you to my patrons for your support. I couldn't be doing this without all of you. And, okay, hold on, I'm not done yet. You know how I said I was worried that she was gonna get overshadowed by her minions? I think I have a solution for that. The design that I did in this video is literally just, like I said, her like a month or two into her transformation after she's turned into a witch. What if I just draw later on versions of her? So that's just the month or two version. So I'm just gonna draw a more extreme version that's like later on, deeper into her transformation, and then even later on into her transformation. Like, you can sort of see what I'm thinking of here with the sketches on screen. It's like she starts sinking into this rocking chair that has little like spider legs that might be made out of needles, and her dress like flows down into this, probably like covering the whole room and the floor, and then it like opens up in front into these like countless sort of centipede legs that constantly sew. And then after that she might I'm thinking this might be a little crazy, but she might turn into like this giant caterpillar worm thing that's like holding onto rocking legs and like rocking back and forth, and her mouth is one of those looms, like the giant looms I designed for the loom bear, like just in her mouth, and she's like constantly spewing out minions. But okay, I'm getting too excited about this. Listen, the video's just gonna end here, right? That's it. That's the design for the video. But I'm definitely gonna do more videos about the continuation of the transformation of the sewing witch. So that'll be fun. Oh, also, the reason I didn't talk about the abilities of the witch in the video is because, well, for the sewing witch, I sort of felt like it was appropriate that she didn't really have any clear offensive capabilities and was more reliant on her minions and the production of minions, which I felt fit with the idea of her being a sewing witch, being more passive, instead of, you know, some other witches that might be more aggressive and actually have ways of fighting with people. But she's still gonna look, I mean, if we're going with the loom in the face, giant gaping maw, she's definitely gonna become more terrifying in her later versions. Anyway, I'm gonna disappear now. That's the end of the video. Take care.